One of the most exciting things I've seen in Ohio over the last couple of years is the formation of a new student movement in this state called the Ohio Student Association. Just about a month ago, in fact, a month ago today on October 2nd, several hundred people gathered here in the Capitol and protested the Stand Your Ground legislation. It was led in part by the Ohio Student Association. And we're blessed today to have two of their leaders here with us. The first is Erica Turner. Erica is a graduate of The Ohio State University, and she works here in Columbus and is committed to OSA because of the commitment they represent to the community and their decision to really build power to change some of the unjust circumstances in this state. And then following her is Malaya Davis, who is a student at Wright State University in Dayton and will also be sharing and bringing some of her passion to us today. So we're blessed to have them. Please join me in welcoming Erica Turner.
Hello, everyone. My name is Erica Janae Turner, and I am here with the Ohio Student Association. I am a Columbus, Ohio resident and a graduate from The Ohio State University. I am a daughter, a sister, a granddaughter, a niece, a cousin, a friend, a neighbor, and a colleague. I have an intricate web of relationships with many beautiful spirited people right here in my hometown. I am here today because I have a profound love and respect for each individual in my life and my community. I am here because I truly believe we, the people, have the ability to overcome any adversity, one of the most recent of which is Stand Your Ground or the Kill at Will bill. It is irrevocably disheartening how forces in our society are attempting to enact legislation that advocates for violence over peace, a bill that advocates for brute conflict over civil conciliation. Proponents are steadily claiming that House Bill 203 is simply about expanding the grounds on which one may defend themselves in a self-proclaimed life-threatening situation. Yet Ohio already has sufficient self-defense laws in place. They are claiming it is not a racial issue, yet within the same breath urge it would benefit the Black community. They would like for us to believe that it is an unnecessary burden for an individual who has just taken a human life to prove they had no duty to retreat, yet at the same time profess to value life preservation. In the words of Alexander Solzhenitsyn, violence can only be concealed by a lie, and the lie can only be maintained by violence. A study conducted by Texas A&M University supplies us with proof on the effects of Stand Your Ground legislation in states where it has become an unjust reality. This proof includes the fact that Stand Your Ground has led to a significant 600 more homicides per year across states with expanded castle doctrine legislation. It includes findings that there is no significant evidence to indicate that these additional homicides were legally justifiable. It includes proof that Stand Your Ground does not effectively deter crimes of robbery, burglary, and aggravated assault. It is all too clear with more guns comes more violence and death. House Bill 203 not only seeks to bring Stand Your Ground to Ohio, but it would allow the Attorney General to enter into reciprocity agreements with other concealed license and issuing states. It seeks to eliminate minimum hours requirements for a firearms competency certification course. It seeks to deputize Attorney General investigators like law enforcement officers while they conduct certain investigations. Actions like these essentially lead to the increased likelihood that someone I know, someone you know, someone we both know will be a victim of gun violence. So I pose the question, have we learned nothing? Have we learned nothing about the importance of protecting our children from violence and not reinforcing its presence in their young, impressionable lives? Have we learned nothing about the devastating effects of young people who have been conditioned to resort to armed conflict resolve? Have we learned nothing of the pain felt by mothers, fathers, children, grandmothers, grandfathers, sisters, brothers, aunts, uncles, friends, neighbors, and colleagues of unarmed young people like 16-year-old Kamani Gray, who was murdered on March 9, 2013, like 17-year-old Trayvon Martin, who was murdered on February 26, 2012, like 17-year-old Jordan Russell Davis, who was murdered on November 23, 2013. Have we yet to learn how precious all human life is, regardless of one's race, gender, sexuality, ability, age, creed, and economic status? Well, I believe we have, and that is why here today we must stand up for Ohio by standing against unjust practices like House Bill 203. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Malaya Davis, and I am also here on behalf of the Ohio Student Association. So House Bill 203 wishes to bring stand your ground to the state of Ohio. But there are some questions that need to be asked before we can even discuss this. Like, what happened? How did we get here? And why is this the wrong priority for the state of Ohio? So essentially, when laws are made, is to protect the citizens and explained in the most non-politically scientific way possible, right? So that brings us to the American Legislative Exchange Council, or ALEC. Yes, thank you. This is a nonpartisan organization that is comprised of politicians and corporations for the sake of composing model policies that should be passed at the state level. And some of these policies are stand your ground, strict voter ID laws, and also tough on crime initiatives, as the CCA and the GEO are two of the biggest for-profit prison organizations that fund and support ALEC. So with that being said, what does ALEC have to do with the state of Ohio? Well, our governor, Governor Kasich, is not only a member of ALEC, but he is a founding member of this organization, right?
That ain't right.
That ain't right. So him and his colleagues that are also affiliated with ALEC in the state of Ohio, they know exactly what they're doing by bringing House Bill 203, or Stand Your Ground, to the state of Ohio. And for those who say that it's not a race issue, I say that you are disillusioned and disconnected. Because research has shown that in states with Stand Your Ground, 36% of the time is found justifiable when the shooter is a white person and the victim is black. And it's only found justifiable 1% of the time when the shooter is black and the victim is white. Some supporters of this bill say that they have not seen any evidence of the Wild West erupting in states who have Stand Your Ground. And I would say let's turn our attention again to the state of Florida, where a man opened fire on a car full of teenagers because he didn't like their music, amongst other things, resulting in the killing of 17-year-old Jordan Davis. The fact that we are here discussing this, to me, Stand Your Ground, the House Bill 203, it should not be a priority for the state of Ohio. I am a first-generation college student who can barely afford to survive, let alone pay tuition, and I am pissed that we're having this conversation about Stand Your Ground. Between 60 and 80% of students who graduate from Cleveland, Columbus, and Cincinnati public schools who go on to higher education have to pay to take remedial math and English classes because they are not prepared to go into college like their suburban counterparts. That is not right. So I believe that we must be strong in the fight for justice and fight against stand your ground. And I want to leave by saying this. Blessed are the meek, and all the ones who make peace, and all the ones who are persecuted for the sake of righteousness, for theirs is the kingdom. Earth is their inheritance. So no matter how treacherous, they'll try to trap us in these trenches, and they will dig deeper ditches. All that matters is this. It's like, which side would we pick? Which path will we choose? It's either win or lose, because no longer can we allow the death of our children and countless others to go in vain. We must stand courageous in the face of our Creator and all creation, and look fear and all things unjust and unrighteous in the face and say that we are here to stay. We are fighting, we are standing, we are screaming, we are organizing, and we are unafraid together. Thank you.